Okay, so now hopefully you've studied, you did those workbook pages, the reading and culture activities, and you feel prepped for the unit test, which sort of encapsulates everything that we've learned so far. And the listening part is actually the hardest part, and then going and doing all those letters in the unit test. So it's an open book test. I would recommend that you listen to you do a little cram time beforehand. If you haven't, then pause it and do some cram time. But assuming that you crammed and you're ready for the test, do the listening, and then go back and maybe listen to it again with the book open to pick up those things you had trouble recognizing. And then after that, you just tackle it like you would any other test, but it is open book. And again, the hardest parts are going to be on the third and fourth pages when you have to write a whole bunch of different, like a paragraph and questions and so on. Where I really get to see how well you understood what you learned. If you're writing a letter and you're writing questions, that means that you picked up how this all fits together with verb endings matching who's doing it and question phrases and so on. But you guys are ready for the test, so why am I delaying here? Let's get right into it. And rather than using the tape, I will read to you the questions and again choose the most logical answer. I will read each question twice, and then you circle this corresponding letter on your sheet A, B, or C. First, the model, model, killer teal, and they circled for you C because the question was, what time is it? And the best answer was C, 2:30, or 2:30 as it said there. Here we go, number 1. Où est ton copain? Où est ton copain? Pause it if you need to. Otherwise, I'm going to go on to number 2 right now. Number 2. Quand est-ce que vous dînez? Quand est-ce que vous dînez? Pause it if you need more time. Otherwise, here is number 3. Ton frère est à la maison? Ton frère est à la maison? Pause it if you need to. Otherwise, here's number 4. Dis Caroline, qu'est-ce que tu veux manger? Dis Caroline, qu'est-ce que tu veux manger? Number 5, right now. Thomas, est-ce que tu veux dîner au restaurant avec moi? Thomas, est-ce que tu veux dîner au restaurant avec moi? Number 6. Again, pause it if you need more time for that one, but here we go with number 6. Dis Philippe, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Dis Philippe, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Number 7. Comment est-ce que vous parlez espagnol? Comment est-ce que vous parlez espagnol? Number 8. Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord avec moi? Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord avec moi? Number 9. Pourquoi est-ce que tu ne regardes pas la télé? Pourquoi est-ce que tu ne regardes pas la télé? And finally, number 10 for the listening section here. Number 10. Tu veux jouer au basket avec moi? Tu veux jouer au basket avec moi? Alright, now again, if you need any repeats, just go back and replay those sections of the quiz. If you had troubles, then look up those words you had trouble with or what you think you might have heard. Look those up and see if you can figure out what they were. And then once you're done with the listening section, you can close this off and keep going. The rest of the test is written, as usual. On the next page, page 44, you've got multiple choice. That should be fairly simple. Then you have short fill-in-the-blank things where you have to match in basically the verb So section 3 is etre or faire. You got to decide if it's a doing activity, that's an faire, or is an is or an are type thing, that's an etre. Okay, and so you then decide, well, if it's etre, then it's either got to be a je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, one of those. Or if it's a faire thing, then it's got to be je fais, tu fais, il fait, nous faisons, vous faites, and so on and so forth. Okay. Down in section 4, what you got to worry about is not just the right meaning of the thing from the word bank, but also match it up with who's doing it in the sentence. So you got to use your ER verb chart on section 4. Okay. Same thing with section 5. You're using your ER verb chart on section 6. On the next page, you're going to ask questions. They give you the answer. For instance, number 1, it says, I'm calling my friend Laura. So the question was, who are you calling? All right. So you got to come up with the question, to who is it that you call? Number 2 is, I'm eating a pizza. So you got to say, what are you eating? Okay, and you're going to use to in all those questions. Then section 7, down below that, you write a letter. It says 5 or 6 sentences. So if you do 6 sentences, I will take the first 5 that are correct and grade those. So if you do more, you have more chances to get it right, basically. If you only write 4 sentences, well, obviously right there it's -1. That's 5 points for that section. So at least 5 complete sentences talking about what you like to do. Then on the next page, more writing. On this section, you've got to name activities that people do. Notice that it says à la maison, nous, or what do we do, so use the we form on all of those. What we do and what we don't do, like we watch TV, make sure you're using the right forms of those words, the ONS ending, hint, hint, so like nous regardons, okay, make sure you're using those. And then the rest of it, every time you see a bullet point here on section D and E, so where do you live? You have to write that question, where is it that you live? And that's 1 point. Okay, same thing with section E, you have to say, I'm sorry. So how do you say, I'm sorry? I cannot play tennis. Each one of those bullet points is 1 point. And then the next page is the same kind of thing. You're writing a letter, and then it's multiple choice and pretty simple. Okay, so good luck. Again, it's an open book, because I'm not going to be there to see if you're not using your book, so let's make it fair and let everybody use their textbook to help them do the best they can on Unit Test 4, covering everything from chapters 13, 14, 15, and this video lesson stuff, chapter 16. Okay, when you're done, send in workbook pages that go with the reading and culture activities, which I think is 117 through 120, and also the test, and we'll get you your score on that for the end of the quarter in the remote sites, and for middle of the quarter here in Cambridge. All right, good luck, and let's see how well you do.